And in news coming in just this minute, the Prime Minister of India, Narendra Modi, is set to make a big announcement at 6 p.m. He is set to announce a pro-poor scheme called Saubhagya Scheme. Remember, it's day 2 of the Bharatiya Janata Party's national executive. It's being called an extended national executive by the sheer number of people who've been invited for the event. The BJP President Amit Shah spoke at the event earlier today, and in news coming in right now, we're hearing that Prime Minister Narendra Modi is expected to make a big announcement at 6 in the evening today. He's set to announce a pro-poor scheme called Saubhagya Scheme. My colleague, WION's political editor, Kartikeya Sharma, joining us live on the broadcast for more on that story. Kartikeya, what more details can you share about this new scheme?
You see, this is a very ambitious project which the Prime Minister Narendra Modi is going to launch. It's called Saubhagya Scheme, which means electricity to all. You know, this is the project which Prime Minister Narendra Modi is launching. It will run into the tune of 20,000 or 17,000 crore. This is the official website which has just gone on air, and it says that Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi is going to inaugurate another Yojana called Saubhagya Yojana. Now, the project is by end of this year, the target will be given to the ministry for 20,000 megawatt of power from wind power, 20,000 megawatt of power from solar, and the target would be before the general elections are held in 2019. Government wants to fulfill its promise of providing electricity to every village. Now that's a pretty ambitious scheme. You know, India is not a network society like Europe or America. Yes, we have mobile phones, we have people who have rising purchasing power, but to provide electricity when you have transmission theft, to provide electricity to all where people don't pay for electricity. So half of the people steal because they don't have money. So the other people living in cities, they end up subsidizing for them. And then you have a transmission loss issue. In that context, for the Prime Minister to announce will be very, very ambitious. But I would have to say this with full responsibility, that this issue will also become very, very political, because there were certain commitments made by the present dispensation in terms of job and other economic betterment for the people, which the statistics say they have not been met, and elections are 1.5 years away. But by saying that, for the Prime Minister to go for this scheme, which is like complete rural electrification,
right,
or which in Hindi say Modi ki har ghar bijli yojana, which precisely means that in every village you will have electricity. Aisha is pretty ambitious.
Absolutely, and I don't know about you, Kartikeya, but every time there's an announcement or a suggestion of announcement by the Prime Minister which isn't expected, it does tend to throw, send shivers down people's spines, going by demonetization last year. But if I can quickly ask you, we're hearing also that the BJP may have received some feelers about a shift in the way the public is perceiving them, especially given by what you just said about, those schemes on jobs creation, etc. Do you think that keeping that in mind, the timing of this particular scheme is very important, and of course with the run-up to the 2019 polls?
See, scheme is very important. Like, as you asked me, before that, I'd like to state 2 facts, which is important to the story, Aisha, we are breaking. That this scheme plans to electrify 3 crore rural households, 1.4 crore rural households to have been electrified under rural electrification plan. Central government to fund 75%, 25% by the state. Now there are 3 things here. How much debt can state government take? Because West Bengal governments like Kerala, they are already reeling under a lot of debt.
Sure.
Secondly, the issue is that, these are promises you can make. But these are certain policies, they also depend on commitment from the civil society. For example, when you talk about transmission, like I pay my electricity bill, you pay your electricity bill, but there are people who don't pay their electricity bill.
Sure.
In a country like us, where there's a lot of populist politics, people say they don't have any money to buy. So